Adam Spontarelli, and traditional versus maker education.
Hello, my name is Adam. I lead maker education programs, and today I wanted to share some of the observations that I've made on the differences between traditional education and maker education. So in traditional education, adults know things and children don't, or at least this is the impression we give. And it's a process that everyone just wants to get over with. Kids want to graduate so that they can get over this grueling work of learning. But in maker education, everyone learns. People of all ages, all backgrounds, they learn for fun, for all kinds of reasons. And in makerspaces, they do it in a transparent way. They do it in public, and you can see it happening. It's not hidden. In traditional education, you have predictable workloads. You know exactly what you're going to be working on and when things are due. But this isn't how the real world works. And it doesn't give students the skills they need for time management, which you may have noticed. In maker education, things go wrong, just like in the real world. Your control board for your autonomous boat blows up, or during the countdown from 10 to 1, the tether between your balloon and your payload snaps, leaving the payload behind. These are real problems, and they require creative solutions. Credentials are the thing that everyone thinks they want, but it always turns out less meaningful and valuable than you expected, kind of like the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. The outcome of maker education is pride. It's people making things that they're proud of because they put a lot of work into it. It doesn't matter the quality of the thing, and they don't care about some certificate in the end. They made something and they love it, and you see it every time. By the end of this course, you will have read chapters 1 through 12, and you'll be tested on your recall of those chapters and assigned an according grade. Sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Contrast that with the idea of building an autonomous boat that sails itself from Lynchburg to Richmond on the James River using computer vision algorithms that you programmed and a boat that you built. A little more exciting. A survey of 24,000 high school students performed by Rutgers University found that 95% of students admitted to some form of cheating. Well, maybe there's something wrong with the system. Maybe we're encouraging methods that encourage cheating. In maker education, there's no motivation to cheat. You just make things. You make things with other people, you collaborate, you have fun, and the thing that you make is what speaks for itself in the end. In traditional education, there's this idea of the rushed world. I was recently asked to give a 3 to 4 minute presentation to groups of 10 students for 3 hours at a career expo, and I replied and said that Americans watch an average of 35 hours of TV a week. You can find more time. So no. Instead, I spent 2 hours working one-on-one with a student to write 20 lines of code. Is that too long for 20 lines of code? No, that's how long it took. There are no shortcuts. It just takes as long as it takes. In traditional education, we isolate content. You see it in SOL subject areas. You see it in different hallways of the building, the math and the history hallways. And at the university level, you see it in different buildings. You can go an entire career without ever meeting someone from the philosophy department, as if those people don't have anything valuable to give you. In a makerspace, in maker education, you have a girl wearing a dress that she made, soldering a circuit that she's about to implement into that dress. The world is a multidisciplined place. These mnemonic devices and endless exercises, these are techniques for teaching a dog to do tricks. They don't give understanding. When we did a space balloon project, one of my students was sitting on the helium tank as he released the gas into the balloon, and he noticed it was getting cold. The students argued for 30 minutes as to why this was happening. This is what learning the ideal gas law actually looks like. These tricks that we teach kids, they're not memorable, they're forgettable. And in the 13 plus years that you spent in traditional education, how much of it do you actually remember? And how much of it had value for your life? Imagine spending 8 weeks designing your own garment from your own mind, sewing it together, wiring NeoPixels and programming them with a Gemma board and sensors, then wearing it, putting it on a runway show in front of hundreds of people. That's an experience that you're going to remember. So I'll let you guys decide which of these approaches we want to give to the future. And please feel free to tell me what you think. So thank you.
All right.